A generation or two ago, school children would have learned the Gettysburg Address, the second inaugural of which the fondly reference comes. I was gently mocking what was true about Lincoln being a series of lines, a series of speeches, a series of biographical points. I was using fondly to, in a warm but somewhat ironic way, talk about Lincoln as being reduced to a few simple tropes, of which that line, fondly do we hope, fervently do we pray, that this mighty scourge of war may speedily pass away. That is why the piece has that title. It is earnest, but by the same token, it is in quotations and it's sepia tinted. It's talking about a distant past in a quaint, though lofty language that in some ways is alien to us now. In terms of the element of collaboration in Fondly, I believe it follows in a tradition that is refining itself as time goes on. Everybody in the room, be they the youngest dancer to the most senior dancer, to but definitely the lighting designer, to the set designer, to the videographer, everybody is constantly being asked about their personal responses to what we're talking about. The collaborations try to emulate, in the end, what will be the truth of the piece. Is that I'm not so sure that we weave anything, but there's juxtaposition against juxtaposition, and then there is rhythm. That is my compositional approach to art making. Juxtaposition and various ways of building up or tearing down structures so as to create dramatic rhythm. When I accepted the commission, I had a mantra, which was Lincoln's life and his legacy was what was supposed to be at the heart of this work. But I didn't think that I could talk about it in any kind of original way by doing a biopic or an analysis of how he changed our constitutional law, how the presidency was strengthened or weakened, the union versus human rights, all of those sort of things. I felt out of my league there. But I did think that I wanted to do something that we have done again and again in my company, and that is to present a vision of a world, a diverse world. The first attempt we made was I asked all of the staff and the dancers to hand me their biographies. I wanted them to use the template of Lincoln. So that legacy question was, rather than being about Lincoln, I wanted it to actually make itself apparent simply by creating characters that disagreed. We had to do it with maybe 4. And on top of that would be Lincoln and his wife. So it would be 6 people that would have various points of entry into the discussion about big ideas, around the issues of race and around the issues of sex and war. That is how I can say we have suggested his legacy without having to define and analyze it. The fact that we are still disagreeing about things that he is associated with, like civil rights, like human rights, like citizenship, like the whole political debate at that time, which was so fractious. I feel here I would like to speak to a prospective audience member and encourage them a bit. There are many, many elements in the work. I know that. It is a choice I've been making for most of my career because I'm interested in something as concrete as language against something as fugitive as movement, and what happens when the two of them are juxtaposed or overlaid or interrogated by each other. I would say to people in watching it, a new audience, to relax. Don't be concerned about every moment adding up to something. That they should allow what can come to them to come. It's always interesting to me to know what stays with one the next morning, what sticks. That is what I'm after. That which is fugitive and unrelated, how we become the agent, we the viewer becomes the agent of the association. That is what I want my work at this point to do.